Hey guys, this is John and I'm playing alexkoshman in a 15 plus 10 game on lichess.org. Yes, that's right, I'm playing on a new site. I haven't previously recorded any videos on lichess, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and a few months ago I created an account, and it seems to be an awesome site. So I was actually playing on ICC earlier tonight, but the ICC server kept crashing, and it crashed right in the middle of one of my 15-minute games. And yeah, it wasn't looking like ICC was going to get the job done tonight, so went on lichess instead. And I hope this capture is turning out okay because I kind of was doing this on a whim, spur of the moment. But yeah, I searched for a 15 plus 10 game. As you can see, my rating is 1500. I haven't played any games. I just played one game against the Stockfish engine on here that was just purely for practice. So this guy's 1661. It's nice that because I'm not playing in a pool, I can actually play with increment here. So a3 is a very strange move. It's almost like he's concerned about bishop b4 before that becomes a possibility. I'm just going to play knight f6 because if he goes e5, typical trick, I have queen a5 check and I can pick up the pawn. So he'll probably play knight c3, after which I'll play most likely queen c7, just guarding the e5 square, proceeding in standard Sicilian con fashion. Yeah, and he does blunder the pawn. So this is a well-known trick that Sicilian players for both white and black must be aware of. He's just losing the pawn to a fork now. So he'll have to decide at this point what's his best way to try to extract value from having to give this pawn up, because whenever you go take something, it is time consuming. But maybe he can parlay his loss of a pawn into some development. I don't like that move though, because after queen takes e5, I'm hitting his knight as well. So he'll have to play either bishop e3 or the move he just played, knight e2. And this gives me the option of grabbing another pawn. So queen takes b2, which I don't know if I want to go for that. It's a little bit greedy. Thinking I might just play bishop c5 instead. Target f2. Yeah, I think bishop c5 is a sensible move. Queen takes b2 could be played, but he goes knight bc3. I figure he's down one pawn right now, and his position is not good. It wouldn't bother him too much, or it shouldn't, to go down another pawn. Because if he can get some sort of initiative out of that, then it might be a decent bargain for him. Okay, so bishop c3. Now, some interesting possibilities. I wonder if knight e4 is a good move. Not even moving my queen, but threatening bishop takes f2 mate. What does he do about that? If he goes knight e4, queen takes d7, trying to free up a flight square for his king, I can just play knight takes d7, guarding my own queen. Bishop takes f2 check immediately does not do the job because king takes f2 and knight check, he can just go back to e1. So I'm actually thinking knight e4 is pretty strong. Hits his bishop too. Yeah, let's try this. Lichess is a very sleek site, by the way. I definitely like the look of this site. Oh, wow. And we're getting a quick checkmate. So just as I was praising lichess, I got a cool quick checkmate on lichess. Yeah, this was a pretty fast game, and I'm learning this site as I'm playing this game. So let's go back and see if we can kind of analyze it a little bit. What if I click on analysis? Am I able to move stuff around? Let's just see. Like if I want to make a different move, what's going to happen? It's not letting me do that. Okay, let's click analysis and see what happens. Oh, okay, so it took me to a separate board. So he opened with e4. I went c5, knight f3, e6. I have good success with the con Sicilian, and I like playing it, especially against low-rated opposition, because they oftentimes get confused. They're like, oh, black's not playing knight or for a dragon. What should I do? And you can use that to your advantage. So with the Sicilian con, black is guarding the traditionally weak Sicilian squares, d5 and b5. with the pawns and not committing any of their pieces yet. That's the real beauty of the con. It's an extremely flexible opening. So yeah, he played a3, which is clearly a weak move. I mean, there's no reason to play a3 right now. I continue with knight f6. The main moves in the con would be either bishop d3 or knight c3. So those would be the principal ways of playing. I right-click drag. I didn't know if it was going to draw an arrow or not. I just did it out of habit because that's what I do on ICC, but it looks like it did. So if I right-click, does it kind of highlight squares? Yeah, it kind of does. Cool. So a6 and then a3, knight f6. Yeah, and they simply cannot play e5. Like knight c3 must be preferred. After which I was probably going to continue with queen c7. I could also play something like just knight c3, d6 if I wanted. That would be fine too. Playing like a knight or for a Scheveningen position where white's already committed to this kind of poor move a3. So going back, they play e5 and queen e5 check. I would probably play knight c3 if I were them. So let's say knight c3, queen takes e5 check. Maybe just bishop e3 now. And as I said, white has to be looking to translate their loss of a pawn into some sort of gain of time, basically, because that's the only way that they can claim any sort of compensation. So instead, they played bishop d2 and then queen takes e5. I dislike knight e2 as well. I think they should probably bite the bullet and play bishop e3. It's less cumbersome to their development. But again, black is just doing awesome here. So knight e2 was played, and bishop c5, bishop c3. And now I decided to play this knight e4 move, which looks like it checks out. And one point about this is that if, as I said, queen takes d7, trying to free up a square, I can simply take, they take, and let's say I insert bishop takes f2 first. I can take this bishop and I've won a piece plus a pawn in that transaction. So that would not have been a good line either. I guess I didn't win a pawn, I just won a piece purely, but... So I wonder what they have to do after knight e4. I guess I don't have the benefit of just clicking on the engine here. There is like a, you guys can't see it, it's right underneath the board here, but there's a request computer analysis button, so I guess I could do that. But this game was so short, it's not even necessary. But I think they should probably play bishop d4 as a way to block my bishop from capturing on f2. But you know, I'm happy to trade, and after queen takes, I probably would just trade down. It'd be knight c6, and we're up a clear pawn, and we've reduced a lot of their attacking potential too because we traded queens. Yeah, I don't think they have too many other good moves other than bishop d4. There's not many ways to address this threat. So, but instead we got this nice checkmate. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and let me know if you prefer lichess.org one way or the other. I think it's a great site. I just haven't explored it, and you know, I want to do that a little bit more. My rating went up to 1273 after that game, at least for the standard category. So yeah, if you guys happen to like this, let me know, and maybe I'll play some other time controls on this site. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another standard game. Talk to you guys later. Bye.